Hello racers and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we are going to look at a C-Class race that I had going on. Really fun stuff in the Lotus Cortina, as you can see. Really fancy, crazy taxi livery straight from New York City. But what are we doing? We are actually waiting up to let everyone go past before we begin this race. So this is in C-Class. But I've said it before in my last tuning guide for the Volkswagen Beetles, not often I venture into C-Class, but I'll tell you what, it does bring some really cracking racing, as we've seen on my friend JSR Devon's YouTube channel quite a few times. C-Class and D-Class always seem to bring a good mix, and as you can see right here, our Cortina making easy work of some Acura Integras right there, but we've got some Mazda up ahead of us that we just managed to squeeze through. We're at Hockenheim short, very small track, really tight lanes, so overtaking can sometimes feel quite difficult, quite messy, but really looking forward to showing you this race because it evolved to be quite a funny one. So as you can see, we're on the outside coming into this hairpin here. This is at the infield stadium at Hockenheim, Mercedes corner. Managed to hold it around the outside up into 9th place now from last, which isn't too bad. We've got a Fiat ahead of us, and then an Alfa Romeo TZ2. So can we hold it around the outside? Yes, we can. This Cortina's got fantastic grip, I have to say. It was a car that I fell in love with in Forza 6, and I just thought that I'll try and find any random tune, give it a go. So it's got really good handling. Never mind that Alfa Romeo just absolutely yeeted it through turn 1 there, overtaking 7th and 6th place. But we're going to try our own little lunge into turn 2, just a little bit more clean. No contact required and no heavy cutting either, so actually up against the Alfa Romeo right now. And as you can see, we've actually got the legs on the thing, which is great. But coming around this turn, I kind of underestimated the handling capability. I thought it'd be no problem, but the Cortina actually understeers a fair bit at high speed turns, so resulted in that little crash there. What I'm going to do is just carry around this right hand turn, and then I'm just going to slow down, let the Alfa Romeo catch back up, because I thought it wasn't really a just overtake there, so it would take it really wide around this hairpin, let him get back into 6th place, and we'll continue the racing from there. But you know, not even 2 laps done and we've got a lot of action going on, so really funny stuff here in C-Class. I definitely need to race a bit more of it, to be honest, because it seems like I'm missing out in B and A class and S class. Sometimes you just get not so much too many rammers, but I think the cars are a bit too fast for people's skill level, so that's why there's a lot of crashing. Whereas in C class and even D class more so, you manage to have a fair bit of contact without the cars just getting knocked around like a hockey puck. So managed to make it through the inside there at turn 2, really nicely done. However, exit was quite compromised, so we'd see that TZ2 making easy work of us on this back straight. But we've learnt our lesson from lap 2, feathered the throttle a little bit going around that fast curve, and now we are up on the inside. Now we've got 4 people all fighting just for 1 position. I think it's for 4th place, so really fun stuff here. Squeezed ourselves up into 2nd. We're going to try around the outside of this Honda S2000. Alfa Romeo lunges big time, sends a massive yeet straight into the gravel. But we managed to still hold it around the outside of that S2000, which I was kind of surprised when it happened, because that is a super strong car in S-Class. We've all known about it from Forza 6 and Forza 5. C-Class and B-Class, that S2000 is super strong. But it shows that this Cortina has got a lot of handling power itself. So onto the final lap here. We're in 5th place. Can we make it up into 4th? That would be a really nice one. I think the top 3, they're a bit too far away, but it seems like we're hunting down this Honda Civic, the mighty Civic, yet another super strong car in C-Class. Borderline OP, I'd actually say, because you see it in top 10 on the leaderboards on so many tracks. But it's made some legs on us, but we're going to see if we can make it around on the last section of Hockenheim short. So here we are, shifting up into 4th gear, just about keep it within the limits there. As I mentioned, you could tell a bit of understeer as we were going a bit faster. We've managed to slash down that distance around the hairpin, so maybe it's just down to if we can make a move on the Civic, but they're playing a really good defensive game. They're holding to the racing line, and that's forcing us to just stay behind them. Can we cut it on the inside? Yes, we can, but have we got the grunt to make the most of it up to the line? Not too sure. Oh, but it turns out that the Civic slows down for us. Civic gives us the place. So shout out to Carol Baskin in the Honda Civic 97, handing us that position, not too sure why. On to the next race. On to the second race of the day. We're in the Ford Mustang 69. And we are at Suzuka West Circuit. So we're just going to pull over right off the start line here. Let people go ahead, because we know that we are in a pretty strong car for this class. And I thought it would just be a nice way to demonstrate what this car is really capable of whilst racing. Obviously, if you're going around grip tracks and momentum tracks for like leaderboards, doing rivals, that's obviously one thing. Someone gets taken out back there. I actually think it was Carol Baskin, the person who handed us the 4th place. More death here at turn 1, 2 people straight into the tyre wall. As I was saying though, when it comes to using grip tracks, it's always sometimes a bit difficult because you can't use cars like these, but in a race it's entirely different. As you can see, making easy work of that super wide Honda Civic that we've just overtaken. He's given us a little nudge, he's gone into the gravel, we've just about managed to avoid that. Quite funny that he's the one who lost control, because it looked like his car had stabilizers on it, tyres poking out so wide. But coming through this hairpin, car is definitely a little bit sketchy on the exit. Get a lot of tail happy action, but you can start to notice that even on this long curve, this car has got lots and lots of grunts. I think it's got well over 400 horsepower, this Mustang, and I really love the Mustangs. I think in C-Class particularly they're really fun. In Forza 6, I think the 65 Mustang was actually pretty much OP. 69 Mustang though, not too familiar, and last time I checked I didn't see it that high on leaderboards, so it's a pretty decent car to take in lobbies, and especially on a track like this where there's a fair amount of corners but then some really long straights. It is really fun just to catch up to the cars ahead like we see here. So coming through, feathering the throttle through technically turn 1 I suppose, the little kink. But this is what I really call turn 1, this dreaded corner, over 90-degree angle. And then the same goes for turn 2. I always find these really difficult, especially if I'm trying to get around cars, because they're all off camber, so it's just really tough. For now, we're going to keep ourselves behind this, I think it's a Nissan Silvia, and we've got another Ford right ahead of us. They have a bit of door-on-door action. That's giving us an opportunity to just extend our legs a little bit, but we're blocked in coming into the hairpin, so we're just going to play it cool until the Ford Mustang next to us just mysteriously just turns into us. No idea why he done that, but you know, we're going to stay resilient. We're not going to kick up a fuss about it. Just sometimes you get knocked over, you need to get yourself back up and into the race, so it certainly spiced things up here. We've got another Nissan that we're up against. This is actually a really good car. I think it's the 240X. Really strong in B class actually. But in C class it's actually just a really decent all-rounder. You can give it a bit more power. But as you can see, he comes up on the inside. But now that we're on the straight, after skimming around on the curb, we are now able just to run away. So let's see what speed we managed to climb up to as we approach the Ford Mustang, which knocked us off at the hairpin half a lap ago. So we managed to top over 140 miles an hour, which is certainly fast for C-Class. We managed to still catch up whilst going through the kink, but we've dove a little bit too hard, broke a little bit too late, so we've had to yank the handbrake just to help bring the car around. Much prefer to do that. Pull the handbrake out. It's always a good little emergency action, guys. That's why they call it the emergency brake. Always worth doing to try and spin the car around instead of just running over into the tyre wall, because that'll just cost you so much time and your race is basically over. You can see we've got a fair bit of tussling with this Nissan. Not too sure what's going on. I'll just tap on the brakes just to let him know, look, I'm not trying to be aggressive. I'm trying to just keep myself in a straight line, and I think we're having a lot of Forza contact. He doesn't care, ramming us off. But we're not going to retaliate. We know that we've got the legs now. for the rest of the lap. So we're just going to run off and hopefully not have to deal with him for the rest of the race. Back to the Ford Mustang. We managed to pass him once. Can we pass him again? Just about. We beat him on the braking, but we have a much wider entry into Spoon. So for the second half of Spoon, he's kind of got himself in the door. We need to give space on the outside. That's what we managed to do, but as you can see, we have definitely got the power build out of the two. It seems like he's got a very grippy build, and he's actually losing out to that Nissan behind us. So hopefully we can just run away at this point. We've got ourselves a podium, but can we maintain it? So come through the kink. Don't manage to hold it all too well, but we've learnt our lesson from lap 3. We're going to brake a lot earlier, take our time through this corner. We want to be really patient on the throttle actually, otherwise the towel just swings out of nowhere. So you notice I kind of kept it on half throttle for most of that turn, and then it was only once I was pointed in the direction you want the car to go that I floored it. The same's going to happen around here, so we're just blipping, and then once we know the car's fairly settled, then we put it down. Not the best corner by any means, but we're still making ground from 4th place. So into the hairpin now. You see this guy swaying a hell of a lot. This is what you'll notice in C class and a bit in B class as well, but I'd say definitely C class or lower. When you've got a muscle car or any type of power build, the car is just going to rotate and sway, and you're basically braking sideways, which is really fun to do. Personally, I find it really fun. Coming back into Spoon now for the final time. We've got the right of way on both the entry and the exit, so we managed to run much smoother lines, even though the car's going sideways. But we've managed to hold on to 3rd place, and that wraps it up for the race. Really happy with that. And that wraps it up for the video. So really fun stuff. I hope you guys have enjoyed this stuff. Thank you for watching as always. If you haven't already, please do subscribe and share this video so it can get out to more people. That's the best way to grow the channel and let more people know that there is clean racing available on Forza. But thank you all for watching, guys. Hope you have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.